Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Well, good morning. As you can see, Winston is out of town today, but welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Stan Kirkland, and glad to be with you today. Weather's brought to us by Haney Technical Center. The high today is 74 degrees, low tonight, this morning 62, kind of balmy. Water temperature is it's creeping up. It's hard to believe that it's this warm this time of year, but it's 70.3 degrees. We'll talk about that later in the show, what that means if you like to fish, particularly here on the coast, or if you like to brim fish in some of our lakes or rivers around. River readings: Apalachicola at Bluntstown is 7.7. Choctahatchee River at Caryville is 8.2. Both of these probably are going to be on the increase. I know the Chipola River, even though we don't give the readings for that, it's been high, but with rain in the forecast, both rivers probably be up. The tides brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemeteries. A high today is at 7:25 tonight. Low was this morning at 5:01, so not good tides if you like to morning fish. There's a 25% chance of rain today. They're saying we're going to have about a 60% chance of rain over the next couple of days. So not going to be great days to be out doing things outdoors, doesn't look like. We're going to, the marine forecast winds 7 to 8 out of the east, northeast. So if you go out on a boat, be careful, check your weather before you go out. We're going to take our first break now and be back in just a moment. Well, welcome back. With me on my right is Ken Paramore. I want to still call him Captain Ken Paramore. I know probably his wife doesn't call him Captain around the house, but I always knew Ken as Captain Paramore and worked with him closely, of course, for quite a number of years with FWC. Of course, he and I are both retirees. How have you been?
Thank you. Good morning. Glad to be here. I've been fine. Been good. Had a little bout with the flu about a month ago, but
do I need to move over?
No, we're good. I've been on the mend, but it was a rough few days.
Yeah, I saw you, I think one time and talked to you, and I know you were still recuperating.
If anybody knows who had it, it's not a fun thing, and it sure went around this season.
Well,
for sure.
Well, before we get into things this morning, I have to give a shout out to some people that watched the show, and Ken, I think you've got somebody as well. The crew with Backwoods Buildings up at Chipley. They're faithful watchers of the show. I know I talked to some of the crew the other day, and they told me that they catch the show every chance they get. Also, Greg Beecham at Beecham's Hardware in Sneeds recently was in the store, and Greg mentioned how much he enjoys seeing the show in the morning and catching up with things and seeing what Winston's got to talk about. And I think you talked to somebody as well.
Yeah, excuse me, I ran into a fine gentleman the other day, and he said he's been a faithful viewer of Winston's show since the inception. He even went back as far as to Scott Lindsay when he had it, Red Holland when he was doing it, Roy Ray when he was doing it. So I want to say good morning to Ralph Villa. We had a nice chat, and he had high praise for the show, and he says he watches it every day. So good morning, Ralph.
Well, good, great. Does he live here in Bay County?
He lives in Bay County.
Good deal, good deal. Ralph, thanks for watching, all of you. As we get into things this morning, Ken, the one thing that you and I help with this, and we've got a whole committee, but is our Youth Turkey Challenge as we get into the spring turkey season. So if you can bring us up to speed on that.
Well, as you know, last year we had our first annual Youth Turkey Hunting Challenge, and we're trying to get youth back involved into hunting, and what a perfect way to do it would be to have a contest to encourage them to get outdoors and experience hunting, but turkey hunting in particular. As you know, there's there's really nothing more exciting when you
Right.
go hunting is turkey hunting when it all comes together.
So this can be boys and girls?
Boys and girls 15 and under,
Right.
because they have to not be able to hunt by themselves.
Correct.
So an adult has to hunt with them. They need to pre-register.
Okay. Where do they pre-register?
They can pre-register with me or you.
Okay.
They can pre-register at our sponsors, which is C&G Sporting Goods and Gun Depot USA in Lynn Haven.
Okay. Blake and Sheena Baber. Okay.
Yep. We will we'll have some registration forms there, and if we don't get them there before you want to go pre-register, all we need is contact info and their entry fee.
Well, we will have them there by the end of the week. We've got to have them there by the end of this week. So we will get them there. And how much is it for anyone that wants to pre-register?
Last year it was $50 to pre-register, and we feel
is that one youth?
One youth.
Okay.
And we feel that should be the same this year, of course, because we wouldn't want to make it cheaper, and it wouldn't have been fair
Correct.
to those last year. And it's run the entire hunting season,
right?
Turkey season, which in Florida is about 6 weeks.
So they don't have to just go during the youth weekend,
No.
which is coming up Saturday, Sunday week.
Yeah, it opens here on the 10th.
Right.
And that, for that weekend is youth, and then regular opens on the 17th.
So that's very important. If you've got youth that are under 16, you can take them on this youth weekend. You can't, as an adult, you can't shoot the gun, but you can let your kids. And if you get them registered for this, they can take part. And then, Kim, what are the prizes? Or do we have like first, second, and third again this year?
Yes,
I know we probably aren't to the prizes yet, but
right, we're going to have first, second, and third. We're working on obtaining and getting commitments for those prizes and trying to iron out what they were. I'm pretty confident there'll be possible turkey tail mounts, probably some gift certificates to, I don't know, institutions like Bass Pro or somewhere, and we're working on to getting some prices on or prizes that might be a gun for the first place. But
and last
we haven't
year,
quite got there yet with ironing that out. Last year we did give away a shotgun. It was a youth model shotgun to the winner.
And that young man, you should have seen his face when he was called up at our banquet in August, when he was called up in front and recognized for killing a really nice gobbler, scored the highest, and I think you presented him the firearm in front of everybody. It was really something.
And that was fun.
Right. Okay. All right. We're going to take our first break now, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Welcome back to the show. Ken, is anything else that we missed, we left out about the Youth Challenge?
A couple things. We are going to allow turkeys that are taken in Georgia and Alabama, as well as Florida, but we are only going to run for the Florida season.
Okay.
Because Georgia and Alabama, I think, go a little longer.
They do.
And being as we are a Florida chapter, we felt that we should probably wrap it up during our Florida season. But, and my argument was, initially, we have a lot of people from Florida that hunt turkey, Alabama and Georgia. So why not allow them if the youth takes the turkey and they're willing to bring the turkey to us? For, you know, we have to weigh and measure.
And this bird can't be dismembered. It can't be partially dressed because we're weighing the bird. We're measuring, looking at beard and spur length and this kind of thing. So don't dress your bird. Just, you know, ice him down in a chest if you want to. Bring him back. Call one of us. Make sure we can get together with you, and then we'll do that.
We'll get those numbers out, or we'll leave them with Winston. You can go to our Bay County Longbeards Facebook page, and our numbers, I'll have our numbers on there. And of course, Stan and I probably do most of the weighing and measuring by NWTF scoring standards.
Right. And that the registration for this Youth Challenge also, not only does it give your young person a chance to be entered in this and encourage them to participate, but it also comes with 2 tickets. So we will provide you with 2 tickets, one for your youth and one for you as an adult, to attend our banquet this year.
Where our awards will be awarded that night at our banquet. And we're leaning towards the banquet this year, probably going to be August the 10th. Tentatively, that's what we have tentatively set. Barring something unforeseen, that'll probably be the date of our banquet, which is where we'll recognize our winners.
Correct. All right, good deal. All right, Ken. Now, recently, you, you're our chapter president here for the Bay County Longbeards, and then you recently attended the state convention, I believe.
State Awards Banquet.
State Awards Banquet. Okay.
Actually, it's where the.
Where was it?
We had it in Ocala.
Okay. And
the awards banquet recognizes the state chapters for the work that they've done throughout the year. And as I don't know if y'all can see, but our chapter garnered, thanks to the help and support from our local attendees and sponsors, we garnered 3 awards at our state awards banquet, which I was present and gladly received. The awards are, they range from, we had 20 plus sponsors. We had and signed up around 200 memberships, and our net to gross ratio, which I think was I'm most proud of, we got third place in the state for highest net to gross income for banquets with 200 to 300 people.
What that means is we don't waste the money that we get from people. We use it only for things that are connected with the banquet and with membership. We don't go out and buy frivolous things. So that's what that's all about.
Right. The name of the game is to raise money for the habitat and save the habitat, save the hunt. Well, if we went and spent our money on a band to come and play and all this expensive food,
other stuff,
and expensive decorations, and put our money, then that's less money we can put back into the ground, as they say.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Stan and I are really frugal with the chapter spending and the monies for the chapter, which goes to the state, which goes to what they call a super fund, which is distributed once a year to all the state management areas in the state of Florida, or the majority of them. So we are frugal with our money, so we don't just, but anyway, at the state awards banquet, there's, I forget how many chapters in the state. They all have and contributed throughout their banquets and fundraisers that they do. So we get an appreciation dinner and awards given out for the work that each individual chapter has done.
And if I could add one thing there, Ken, people want to know, where does this money go if we pay for a membership to the National Wild Turkey Federation or your local chapter, and we become a chapter member? What do you do with that money? And in short, the money, part of that money goes to exactly what Ken's talking about. Part of it stays here in Florida. Part of it goes for national efforts, but part of it here in Florida goes into a pool, and then that money, staff from FWC sit down with the statewide chapter presidents like Ken, and they decide what that money will be spent on. It's spent on public land. We don't spend money on private land because you'd get into favoritism, you'd get into places that the average person couldn't go and couldn't hunt. So that's why it's spent. But everything from habitat improvement, burning, removing stuff, trees, stuff that's not good for wildlife conservation.
In some cases, a relocation, trapping and relocation just depends on the need of whichever the state is that has the need.
Yep. And anyway, so that money is well spent. They go over. I know you showed me the sheet last year, and it was well over $1 million. I think it was $1.5 million. Yep. That was collected that came back in Florida. Now, all of that wasn't spent, of course, here in the Panhandle, but it was spent everything from, like I say, mowing, burning to things to improve wild turkey habitat. So I'm glad you're part of that, and gives us a good connection, Ken.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's actually been enjoyable. It's not only gave me something to do after retirement, but it's something that I've been passionate about, but even made me more passionate because of the cause and actually knowing what is done, how it's done,
right,
and where it's done. And so you feel pretty good about where your dollars go.
Well, myself being a lifelong turkey hunter and enjoying it, you know, it was something when we talked early on after I retired that you know, that I could enjoy, because it's putting back in something we all enjoy, and it's for putting back for future generations. So glad you're involved in that. And you've been on the board, what, a year now?
Yep, right at a year.
Okay.
I'm on the state board member, which sits down. We sat down in August and we divvied up and are going to distribute last year's money. We decided this past August, so there'll be a new sheet as to where those money goes. That'll be out pretty soon.
Good deal. All right. And more about what they're doing coming up after this next break. Welcome back, folks. Ken, you not only recently went to the state board meeting, awards meeting, but you've also you're a world traveler. You and your wife, I think y'all went to
the third year in a row. We went to
the national convention
in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Was
there a good crowd there?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The national convention set another attendance record this year. They set an attendance record last year. There was over 54,000 people attended that convention.
And where is this now?
It's at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel and Convention Center.
Boy, what a complex.
Kind of outside of Nashville, but yeah.
Can you imagine what an economic shot in the arm it is to have something over 3 or 4 days that draws in 54,000 people?
It was pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
And of course, you know, the convention floor, or not the convention floor, the exhibit floor doesn't open until, I believe it's Thursday morning. So,
right.
But there's all kind of functions. There's seminars. There's seminars by renowned turkey hunters and callers. And Spy Point had a game camera seminar. The bone collectors were there. Michael Waddell did a seminar. But it's really something to see. Every exhibit floor space was sold out. There's no more floor space for vendors. And it's also set for next year already. It's already scheduled at the same place.
Well, we're not here to encourage you to go to that. However, if you do go, you get your money's worth, because now I have not been. I gotta admit that, but I understand that you buy tickets depending on what you want to go see. For instance, like if they've got
well, the awards are given out on Saturday night, and there's a concert that follows. And this year it was Josh Turner. So awards, national awards, which we got a couple years ago for our best first-time banquet. And then there's a concert that follows. You can go, there's a breakfast, there's lunches, but yeah, you buy individual tickets for whichever you want to attend. If you just want to go into the exhibit floor, it's just
walk around.
It's free.
Yeah. With
a membership.
Right.
So you can do either or, and you can go online and purchase. You can go to all of them. There's auctions. What we really enjoyed this year was the turkey calling contest.
Yeah.
The Grand Nationals, to see those little kids do the competition.
That's amazing.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
You know, this is a great thing if there's parents out there that want to take a youngster and a young person and take them up and sometime experience this. It'll be something they will never forget.
There's even a kids village where just stuff is set up for things for kids to do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of fun.
All right, okay, all right. So good things coming up. Our local banquet for Bay County Longbeards. We set a record last year. We had almost, over 200, but about 230 or 40 people attend. We had a lot of memberships. We had great sponsorships, over 20 sponsorships.
Sponsor membership tables, and it was, thanks for the support is all I can say.
I know, and I'm telling you, people in the community, it was our third year, have really embraced this. And you know, we couldn't do it without everybody's support. switch gears for just a minute. Saltwater fishing, I mentioned earlier about the fact that the water temperature is warming up. I talked to a friend of mine actually on Friday, and he told me that they were already seeing some small finger mullet in our bays near the shoreline. Water temperature's warming up. I know somebody that's recently caught some on the flats, already catching some trout and redfish. Is this kind of fishing you do, or are you more offshore?
I will do it, but I wait on snapper season usually. Spanish, when the Spanish come in, I'll go try to catch a few Spanish.
Oh,
maybe,
he gave me a snapper last year, and man, that was delicious. We took that. It was a real nice snapper, and you were kind enough to share the bounty of your trip, and man, that was good. But if you like to fish locally in our bays, in creek mouths and all, the water temperature is slowly getting up. When it gets about 68, 69 degrees, those fish start moving back in, and of course it's already starting to creep up. Now I know we've got a little rain on the way. I mentioned that earlier. We're going to have I
think another little cool snap
we've got for the next long range forecast is for the next week or 10 days we're going to have some cooler weather setting in, but hopefully though, once that once that's passed, we won't have any bark busting cold. I think.
Hope not. Yeah, we had enough this January to last me for a while.
I know, and it's an exciting time of year, particularly as much as this guy here, he and I and others that we associate with, we love turkey season. So it's just around the corner. I've already been looking at my stuff, getting out, putting stuff in my bag. Of course, the first thing I put in my bag, I don't know about you, is my Thermacell.
Thermacell stays in the bag.
yeah. If y'all never tried that, that is the most miraculous product. I'm telling you, I could have worked for that company, but Thermacell's
work for it. I wish I would have invented it.
But it's an incredible thing. As Dennis Palmer told me, he said, you may leave your gun at home, but you better take your Thermacell with you. Folks, thanks for being with us, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.